A few days ago, we had a vlog go live on this YouTube channel that was talking about a client meeting that me and Robert went to in Boston. And in this video, I want to go through what that presentation looked like. And the goal is to show you how to build a quarterly review for your client. But first, what is a quarterly review and why is it important? What we did when we were out in Boston and what we're going to start doing for all of our clients is once a quarter, we're going to take a survey of all of our services and try to look at them from an outside point of view, list out everything we did wrong and then the lessons going forward and come up with a new strategy. I actually have a new account management process that we're implementing pretty soon, also based on the feedback from that client, which we can talk about probably in the next couple weeks. So here's the presentation that we gave. Quarterly report and then we had the client's logo down here. We started with an intro Q&A. So we asked them what they wanted to know. We sat down in the meeting. They had a bunch of stuff to talk about. Mostly it was stuff that was actually in this presentation. So we lucked out there and Robert wrote it up on this whiteboard for them. Then after we answered any questions they had, we moved into the review, which is the previous quarter's efforts and results. And on the services rendered slide, we listed out all of the work that we were completing in terms of the services. And then we move into the actual post review. So we talked about what we did in the very first week of the engagement. Also, I wanted to give more credit to Robert. He's the one who came up with the structure for this deck. Then we talked about the outreach process, basically what we were doing. And actually, you might find this valuable. This is our outreach process, or at least our old one. Monday through Friday, build the lead list, send the first wave, fix bounced emails, send a reminder, cold call, send third email. Then week 3, fix emails, and then cold call more. So we talk about the previous process. Then we move into what happened in the first period of the engagement. So initial period, over average number of emails sent, went exactly as expected. We got this number of leads and this number of meetings, happy with the results, considered the current strategy to work. Then we move into the mid period and tell what happened in the middle of the engagement, how many leads and how many meetings, what happened. In this engagement, it went down a little bit. And then in the end period, we talked about what happened in the last part of the engagement. And since these are quarterly reviews, this one would be the first month, the second month, and the third month. Then we show the improved process. So based on what happened back here, we changed some stuff going forward. And actually, here's our new process that we're testing right now if you guys wanted to copy that. We added this second series of touch points in week 9, 10, and 11. Here's the template you can use for your review. Here's the service name, and then what happened in the first couple weeks, which tasks were completed. Then in the first half of the engagement, the tasks completed. Then the second half, tasks completed. And then I had this in here because we had a bunch of different services. Then we move to the next part of the presentation, which is the results. So we wanted to be as quantitative as possible when we show the client what we did. So total number of touch points that we sent out, which ones were cold, which ones were warm, total number of leads, and then how many leads per month, total number of meetings and how many per month, and then a nice Walt Disney quote here. Then we do the same thing for ad campaigns. Here's the analytics that we tracked, and then here's the template that you can use. So results for service, bullet points related to the service. The next part of this presentation is where we went through the issues we had while we were trying to make it work. So the general setup is what happened, what were the issues, and then what were the lessons. Here are the issues that we had. Contact databases within our current target audience were less accurate. Email bounce percentages were high. Touch points to meeting booked is way lower than we normally experience for this client. And then we currently needed this many touch points to get this many meetings. That was one of the main issues with this account. So then from issues, we moved into lessons. So expect a larger number of emails to bounce when forecasting. Decision makers are simply not open to standard outreach during this period of the year. This was our guess. And then we came up with solutions for them. So find decision makers in other departments or go with the company's standard email convention, increase outreach efforts to make up for lower meeting ratio, engage with the lead nurturing funnel for all leads that have over 3 months in the funnel and have never replied. So basically what we talked about when we're improving that outreach process. So here's the template you can use. Services, any problems the company faces with the service, the lessons that you learned, and then the solutions based on those lessons. After that, we move into the next quarter. So the beginning of this presentation is talking about what happened. Here is talking about what's going to happen. We started by listing out a bunch of initiatives we wanted to try for the client: interviews on podcasts, attending speaking events, using Reddit, testing Facebook groups, channel improvements, sales, everything that we're improving for them. And then we forecasted in the next slide based on what we think is going to happen due to these new initiatives and the changes that we made. So leads in the pipeline, new meetings, the stretch goal of meetings, how many podcast interviews they're going to get, how many events they're going to get booked at, and then how many closes they're going to get per month. Then we ended with a Q&A, opening the floor up, letting them ask us whatever they wanted, and it turned into an open-ended discussion that lasted about 5 to 6 hours. If you want this doc, check out the description below. There's a link to it. You can download it, play around with it, whatever you want to do. If you find this video valuable, please like it to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Subscribe for more B2B sales training. And if you need marketing support for your digital agency, check out experiment27.com. Thanks.